Hi everybody, welcome to another Chats with Chaudhry. I hope you're safe and well. Today I'm joined by Sumanth Chinta, who is Head of Pre-Sales at Calibre, and we're going to be talking about integrated quality management in relation to paperless labs, because Sumanth is actually presenting at Paperless Labs about this very topic as part of his presentation. So if you're there, look out for it. This is on the 1st and 2nd December virtually. So Sumanth, lovely to see you.
Hi Rizwan.
Well, if anyone's wondering what the background noise is, by the way, Sumanth has actually got a party political broadcast van running down his street with music at the moment. So that might be, if you hear any background noise, that's what it'll be. So Sumanth, how are you? Are you well?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And you? How are you doing?
Very, very good. So whereabouts in India are you based?
Right now I'm in Hyderabad. It is southern part of India.
Right. I've not had the pleasure to go, actually, but I hear it's a beautiful part of the world. So before we start talking about integrated quality management, perhaps you can tell people a little bit about Calibre, if they're not familiar with the company, and about your role within the organization.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking, Rizwan. And Calibre is a 19-year-old company. We have been developing integrated quality management solutions for all GLP, GMP compliant laboratories past 19 years. And we are running around 240 projects across the globe. We are spread across 15 countries as of now. We are a team of around 430 people working towards the common goal of establishing integrated quality management solutions in the Pharma 4.0 era.
All right. Well, before we start talking about IQM, as I'll say it for short, perhaps you can tell people, obviously having been based in India, and every country is different, although I know we're all impacted by COVID. How has COVID impacted your business and the interaction with your customers?
See, in the business-wise, I can say that COVID is a blessing in disguise for us, because we have increased number of sales, and there were so many sales calls that were arranged in line. Just to have this integrated quality management approach, there is a lot of interest shown by the market. But if you leave that aside, in general, the businesses had suffered a lot. If you see, every segment of the business had faced the heat of this pandemic situation. For example, if you take pharmaceutical industry, it is an essential segment if you have to consider. Non-essential segments of the industry, like tourism and like service-based industries, they have come to a complete halt. Whereas with pharmaceutical, the story is completely different. Like if you see, due to the panic situation, there is a lot of panic sales that happen, which is artificial demand, but the pharmaceutical industry has to live up to the expectations and deliver the demand that is artificially generated. If you can see the pandemic rules and the current COVID situation, there is a lot of social distancing policies that brought into picture. And the industries has to manage with 30 to 40% of their workforce, which is very hard. Like the demand got raised, whereas the workforce got reduced. I think the companies who had actually like implemented softwares and who had recognized the importance of the lab automations, and who had partially or completely automated or digitalized their laboratories, they have benefited a lot. For example, I'll let you know one case. If you take a general quality control laboratory in a pharmaceutical industry, they have to do a lot of activities, right? From sample registration and sampling, distribution of work with their team, reviewing and analysis, reviewing and approving. All these things have to be done in general. With full workforce, it is a headache. But with limited 30 to 40% of workforce, it is definitely going to be a challenge. But when I interacted with our customers, I understood from them that they got benefited when they have a software like LIMS in place, because they had the opportunity of working from home in pharma segment, which is very rare. So they got the opportunity of registering the samples, distributing the samples, reviewing and approving the samples, everything online. Only part is for sampling and analysis, they have to go on site. So with 10% of the workforce they have managed to do all these things. So the pandemic, it had definitely created a lot of challenges, and it had surfaced so many issues that were not recognized before. But at the same time, it has shown us the opportunities, and it has shown us how we have to collaborate with each other and move forward. For example, if you take the industry, the researchers, how they need to speed up, how to bring down the clinical trail period. And when it comes to manufacturers, how to digitalize and automate the entire processes and convert themselves as a complete paperless industries. And for regulators, how to adapt the technology faster. They have their own challenges when it comes to adapting to the technology, because regulators always implement softwares which are proven right and trustworthy. So now the time has come. We all need to collaborate, right from researchers to manufacturers to regulators, and come up with the technology solutions that will really help us uh, to build a better tomorrow and walk into a better future,
Right.
and
So
face these pandemics well. Sorry.
no, that's fine. No, great. So how have you been able to support customers? Because obviously previously you would have seen customers face to face. So how have you been able to sort of support the customers you've got out there?
Again, here also technology has come to the rescue. When my last visit to USA is in the month of Feb. So I went to US, I went to China, and I came to India. So at the time, I got a few offers, means few orders, which I had to implement. I thought after this pandemic, I cannot implement. But the best part is technology solutions like Microsoft Teams and Zoom, all these have come for virtual trainings. And trust me, I had completed 3 projects in this pandemic situation just by taking the help of the technology.
Right.
So,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So obviously based in India, and I know a lot of your customers are in India, and you do a lot of work with Indian pharma companies. Is there any key difference between India and other countries in respect to adaptation of technology?
Very good question, Rizwan. Like, if you see the basic thought process of the users, whether they are from US, whether they are from Europe, or whether they are from Asia Pacific region, their thought process is very much similar. I had the experience of implementing most of the solutions in US. Majority of my career, I have worked in United States, and I have executed few projects in Europe and few projects in Asia Pacific region as well. When you compare the user group, their expectations are very simple and straightforward. They want a flexible system. They want a user-friendly system without compromising on the compliance part of it.
Right.
So, but as you have asked me to give the difference, what I can say is when it comes to the Indian users, I feel that they are evolved. They are much more matured in terms of understanding the expectations of the regulators and expectations of what technology they have to use. They have become very choosy in selecting the technology. I'll explain you the means the advantage the Indian users got. If you see the other countries, usually they have to cater to the uni-dimensional regulatory processes. For example, manufacturers in US, they are primarily focused in FDA. In Europe, they are primarily focused in MHRA. Like that in Asia Pacific also, there are certain focuses. But when it comes to India, as you know, India uh, is the place where 50% of vaccines are delivered to the world from India, and 40% of the generic manufacturers are that cater to US are in like in India, and 1/4 of the prescriptions that are suggested in UK are from India. So this is a place where there is multi-dimensional market requirement. So people are challenged by audits. If FDA may visit 2 years once in a laboratory, but whereas in India, every other week or every other month, you see that, okay, regulator from this country is coming, regulator from that country is coming. So
Sure.
they are a lot, and they are exposed to the global regulatory expectations. In that way, I feel that the Indian users are much more matured. They stopped asking to the level like, okay, what functionalities your product offers, what features your product offers, do you have 21 CFR Part 11 compliance, Alcoa, GAM? These seem to be very basic now to the Indian users. They are
Right.
expecting right now, like, what concepts do you have? Does your system support machine learning process? Does that take the help of artificial intelligence? Are you coming up with a process where the process capability can be established? And can your system give us the predictive analytics, which will allow me to avoid any out of specifications and out of trends, so that I can save a lot of time and see that as an industry we are benefited? This is the expectancy level of the current user. So trust me, Rizwan, in future, what I feel is, with all the exposure the market is having right now, the next big buzzword would be like technology, like harmonization.
Right.
Like, they are not just expecting that, okay, if you have this technology or not, if you have this solution or not. They are asking whether your technology can be implemented in such a way that your technology will generate data that can be harmonized with other systems and make it as an as an information, meaningful information, which ML can use to bring options to AI, where AI can take the like call for whether what decision has to be made, to have predictive analytics and eradicate all the out of specifications that generally happen in the pharmaceuticals.
Right. Well,
That way, I can say that the users are evolved very much. They became very choosy. If you have to be in the market, if you are expecting proper business with the market, I think you should have right solutions in hand.
right. Okay. Well, that leads quite nicely on to my next question, which is, what challenges do you think companies face in the path to digitalization?
As I've just mentioned, in the path of digitalization, selecting the right vendor is a very big challenge. So right technology and right vendor, because the product that you take, it should be open. It should not limit you. Like, okay, if you have taken a solution from me, if you want to establish the integrated quality management path, you are dependent with me for your entire life. It should not happen. So the solutions that you take should be open, so that they can be configured. It should be implemented. It should be capable of implementing independently, and it should have the ability to interact with the other systems to generate meaningful information.
Right. Okay. So then you just mentioned IQM. So what role does IQM play in the goal of going paperless?
If I have to put it in proper perspective, uh, if paperless laboratory is the goal you want to achieve, IQM is the right strategy to adapt. So IQM travels with the DNA of the industry 4.0. If you consider industry 4.0, it expects digitalization of the entire digital transformation of the industries, which will finally facilitate the concept of IoTs. So the integrated quality management approach also follows the similar approach, where the systems like LIMS, QMS, DMS, all these systems together, they can form a kind of system which will facilitate Internet of Pharma things, which enables you with connected productivity.
Right. Okay. So that's quite interesting. What do you think then, if you use that, the future for paperless labs will be then, if you're integrating everything like that?
I think it is the need of the hour, the current social pandemic situations. Otherwise, we might have both interacted in a PLA session somewhere in reality. Now we are working virtually. So in the same case, in future, if you see how the future pandemics have to be faced and all, like the technology will come in place where the solutions related to integrated quality management approach will be promoted. Uh, Yeah, I think, did I answer your question or?
Well, you have answered in quite a broad way anyway, in many ways. So uh, if people want to know more information about IQM, where can they get more information? Obviously, those people who are attending Paperless Labs, which is free, by the way. So if you're attending it or you'd like to attend and like to know more, you can register. The link will be above this video to do that, because it is actually free to do that. But if people aren't attending Paperless Labs, where can they get more information?
I can say that, okay, we have a lot of literature on the paperless labs and the integrated quality management approach. We have written several articles. You can find them in caliberuniversal.com. Otherwise, I had shared the articles on my LinkedIn page. Like you can search for my LinkedIn page. And I will also share it with Mr. Rizwan. So you can also get it from him.
Fantastic. Well, we'll tag you. You'll be tagged on this so people can message you directly as well. And we'll put the links to the website and obviously to the show as well. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of user group, more than 8,000 users in your LinkedIn page. So I think like if you can share it, that will be very helpful.
that'd be brilliant. All right. Well, of course we will. So all that stuff I'm going to say is, first of all, I forgot to say this at the beginning, but a belated happy Diwali to you, and also happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's been celebrating this week as well. So I should have said that at the very beginning. So let me just get that out of the way, and I hope you had a wonderful and safe time. But for those people actually who want to know more, as we've just said, check out the links above the video. If you're at the Paperless Labs, then by all means, check out Sumanth's presentations. I'm sure he'll be delighted to have questions from you at the event, and you can message him at the event as well, because I know there's ways to connect if you're attending. And as I said, it's completely free. So if you haven't registered yet, the link to register is above this video, so you can do that. And if none of those work, you can message him directly, or you can put a comment below the video. So there's lots of ways to get more information about this particular topic. So Sumanth, all that stuff for me to say thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
It's been wonderful interacting with you as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and for those people who aren't aware, this was Sumanth's first ever sort of video interview, so he was quite nervous, but as you can tell, he knows his stuff, so he wasn't nervous once he started talking, so that's all good. So thank you very much, Sumanth, for that, and thank you all for watching. And as I said, check out the links and feel free to put comments below whether you agree or disagree with Sumanth. We always want to debate, so please feel free to put some comments below the video as well, and let us know your thoughts. So until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.